First of all, good morning, and thank you for everyone being here today to talk about a very serious issue facing our community and our city. As I've said many times, the safety of our community is the most important responsibility that we have to our citizens, and it will continue to be one of the top priorities that we look at through the budgetary process in the coming year, City Council. You're going to hear in just a few minutes about how we are redoubling our efforts to collaborate with other agencies in our city and our community to make sure that we are making the most of the resources that we have available to us right now. And we're going to continue to look at every option available to us for other ways to address the issue of youth violence in our city. And I mean every option available. Some of those options will include law enforcement. Some of these folks here today are going to be talking about that. Some will include nonprofit organizations that work day in and day out through our community to make the lives of young people better. And some will involve citizens like you and me. We will also continue to call on the business community, especially our economic development partners, to help us find and create jobs for our young people. One of the things that I've heard from many people in the neighborhoods that a lot of this violence is taking place in is the fact of lack of jobs for young people to participate in and to get them off the street. Jobs are key because they are one of the most important factors to successfully combat this issue, along with a good education. And I just want to stop there for 1 second. We've had a pretty good success in the last couple of years of bringing jobs to the city and to the county, as well as expanding some of the industries that are here with more jobs. But a lot of those jobs are knowledge-based jobs, and you have to have a pretty good education to get them. In some cases, even higher than a 4-year college degree. Some of the kids that we're dealing with here in the city that are in this gang, participating in this gang violence, some of them have very little to no education, and whatever we can do to improve those conditions and improve jobs that are coming in that will hire folks with these types of education is better for all of us. We will also be calling on lawmakers in Raleigh to help us toughen sentencing laws and keep offenders off our streets. I have to make a comment here because I read in the newspaper, I think it was a couple of days ago, about an individual that was the fourth person that has been arrested in the shooting that took place here on Castle Street, of which he was supposedly involved in a number of shootings in the Creekwood area in 2013 when he was about 19 years of age. Why he was still on the street in 2016 to come back and create the havoc and the mayhem that he participated in is unknown to me. But I'm going to be asking our legislators in Raleigh to make tougher sentencing laws for people that are out here shooting up the streets, that are convicted felons with guns, to take them off the streets for long periods of time where they should be. But at the end of the day, I must again remind you that this is not just a law enforcement issue, it's a community issue. And it's going to take all of us to help solve it. Citizens are the eyes and ears of law enforcement, and we need you to join us and engage to help keep our neighborhoods safe. I see a lot of citizens that are here today that would probably come forward to help us. A lot of people are in fear of what some of these young people will do to them if they do come forward and give information to the police department. And we've got to change that attitude. If you will give us that information, we will get these people off the street. And the job of the DA and law enforcement community is to keep them off the street for as long as we possibly can. We also need our citizens to give time to the many youth in our city who need someone to support them, to give them a helping hand, or someone that just cares. I want to also say that anytime that we lose a person to senseless gun violence, all of us feel it. The family of the person that was killed mourns and grieves this loss. The family sometimes is never the same, never will be the same. The neighborhood in which it took place doesn't feel safe anymore. And we see a lot of that. In fact, some of the neighborhoods and some of the people that I talk to in those neighborhoods have come so cynical about it, they just say it's just part of life here. The police, sheriff, and the DA that see this every day and wonder why it continues. The elected leaders, including myself, that take keeping our city and community safe personally, and to have to redirect precious taxpayers' monies on additional security instead of fixing aging infrastructure and investing in things our citizens ask for. And last, every citizen who is a taxpayer that will pay for additional police services and incarcerating someone for years. That's a tremendous loss for all of us. So let me say that we need to stand strong, working together. We can stop the violence in our community and keep our citizens safe. I have pledged to you as the mayor of this city that I'm going to do everything in my power, everything that is allowed of city council to keep those cities safe. It's not easy. At times it's very challenging, but I can tell you that the city council members and myself take this issue very seriously, and we're going to do everything in our power to keep you safe. But more importantly, it's going to take an entire community to fix this issue. And it's something that's not going to be fixed in a year or 2 years. It's going to take a concerted effort over a number of years with people working together in public safety as well as behind the scenes with nonprofit organizations, as well as working with our education system to help this go away. I also will applaud the school board trying to work with the county commissioners about putting together a vocational or technical school. That is something the community has been talking about for a number of years, and I hope that the county commissioners support that effort because I think it would be a tremendous asset to the community. A lot of these kids that may not have the opportunity to go off to college can at least get a technical degree to learn a skill so they can go to work somewhere and make a living and be productive citizens in our society.